So, to play a game of Champions, what you need, if you haven't bought the two-player box set, is you need the two companies, which in this case, for the example, is Arakamura's company, which contains all these. Axel Tricklebrook's company, which contains all these. Some terrain pieces, which I don't know where my obstacle markers are. I'm sure there's somewhere, but two obstacle terrain pieces. One forest terrain piece, which would go on here. And a blocking terrain piece, which is this, which these would go on. So these are very important. You might not think so. However, what these allow you to do, and it's why having the obstacle things has annoyed me that I can't find them, you put these on here, like so, and then when a unit moves onto it, or partly onto it, you can move one and it still shows the thing, or just move it around and it still shows it. Easy as easy. Mantic do sell proper trees. It's just, well, the only proper things at Mantic's I didn't have was trees, which they're not that expensive. I think it's 6 for 15 quid, and they, I think, hard plastic. So, you know, it is what it is. They're not bad. Or you could buy the train set of Champions, which are 2 obstacles. I think it's 2 walls. So 2 walls, 3 trees, and 3 rocks. These are 3D printed rocks, by the by, but they are the ones you can get in Champions. You also need the tokens. You also need the tokens, which I've put in a baggie. These contain things such as the range ruler thing, which if you've got a ruler, it works just as well. The art thing. The thing, this little widget, which is so useful. You put it next to a unit, put it on one of the corners, and if you move a unit in the wrong place or you made a mistake, you could put the unit back, fitting in its corner to this L thing, and you know, you can try again. It works. You've also got the tokens for faction orders, or for orders should I say, for victory points, the for objectives, and for wounds. You also need, that also comes with all the tokens, the rule book. Now, I will do a full review of this, but for now, I do think this rule book is slightly too expensive. It's not that thick, and while it's pretty decent, there are a few rules that need putting in a different place. The artwork's pretty good, as is Mantic's want for King's War, which has always been very high. I do think it should have come with a example basic company, such as, I don't know, a generic hero and 3 generic units, like, I don't know, 3 ogre sized things and 2 infantry sized unit things, you know, just so you could play the game out if you wanted to. I think this rulebook is worth about 20 quid, if, in my opinion, but, you know, that's just me. And you don't have to buy the woods and whatnot if you don't want, because the tokens do include these pieces, so you don't have to if you don't want, but it's best to include both, I think, just so you've got somewhere for units to go on, and you've got removable trees so you can just move them about wherever. Last thing you need, and maybe the most controversial, is, well, I say most controversial, once you've seen it and actually got one, I think it'll be useful for quite a few Mantic games. Epic Warpath is one that springs to mind, which it might seem small, but for demo games and for starter games, I think it'll be pretty damn good. And maybe for demo / beginner games of Warpath, it's the double-sided deluxe battle mat. It is, if I just check in the rule book, because it does say the size in the rule book. It's 24-inch. Sorry, it's 42-inch by 24-inch. It's a little bit weird, especially the 42-inch, but it does work. It really does. So, yeah. That is basically it. Oh, no, it isn't. You also need dice. Probably not as many as this, although in some instances you will need up to perhaps 24, depending on the unit. So, that's the basics of what you need for Kings of War Champions. Goodbye for now.